Hello, my name is Amatist and welcome to a new video of the Matryoshka system. If you hear any background noises, my dog is walking around freely. She would like to sit on my lap, but unfortunately I am busy right now. We cuddled all morning and played in the garden. In this video I want to explain how to explain the ID to your children or maybe other children. So, I'm not a professional, so I'm going to explain how we explain to our child that we have the ID and what is going on. So, we kind of treat this topic the same way as we treat sex. So, I only answer his questions. There has been a moment though where I have set him down and explained why he mostly lives with his grandparents and that I'm sick. Because in the end, the ID is a disorder and I can't control it. So it just happens to me 9 out of 10 times. So what we used as a first example was the Matryoshka dolls. That's also where our Matryoshka system name comes from. So these are our dolls. This is the biggest one. And I have a few more. And this is the tiny one. And there are many more inside. You can hear it rattle maybe. But they kind of squeak when you open them. So I won't do that on camera because that will just be annoying to your ears. So we explained like, this is us, this is mommy, here I can take care of you. But sometimes, this is me, and I can take care of you. And you are the child, and I'm the mother. So I have to take care of you, and you shouldn't have to take care of me. Not when you're 8 years old at least. He understood that very well. We also watched the movie Inside Out, and I explained to him that it was something like that, but that instead of in the movie Inside Out, the figures, they can only stand behind the board, right, where they like push the buttons. So I explained in my head the dolls can take over my body and they can use my body, and that also made a lot of sense to him. He is very accepting and loving and understanding. He sometimes asks if he can live here, and I remind him of this me and that is why it's not possible yet. Those are difficult moments for us, but I do want to be open about it. There was also a Dutch TV show, so that probably isn't going to help you, but we explained panic attacks to our son because we experienced those a lot from time to time. So we thought it was important that he also understood that. And what we told him about it was that we get really scared, and that in our head there are all sorts of little chemicals, and something goes wrong and too much of the chemicals are released, and that's why we get so scared, and we can't just turn it off. We have to wait for the chemicals to go lower again, something like that. That's how we explained it. And we said, if I have a panic attack, then you're gonna play in your room and you're gonna do something for yourself, and I'm also gonna do something for myself, and I'm gonna see if I can get myself calm enough so I can care for you again, and we can play together afterwards. And if it fails, then we call grandma, and then she will come pick you up. I tell him this up front, so it's not, he already know there's a possibility it might not work out for me, because you know I can't switch a button and turn it off, right? So but he understands, and I think by explaining the truth up front to him and then trying my very best calm down again, to get back to myself, to get back in the here and now, in the present time. If I can do that, that's my goal when my kid is here. 9 out of 10 times that works out these days. So that's really good. And it's really helpful that he respects that time that I need, that he goes, plays in his own room, and, you know, that I can calm down. So this is how we explained the ID to our son. I hope there were some helpful tips in there. If they have questions, just answer them. I also explained how I got this disorder. We don't really have a nice word for disorder in Dutch, so that's why I call it disease or sickness, but that's just a translation issue. My dog is making so much noise, it's freaking me out. Okay, come here, doggy. You know what? Yeah. You don't care, do you? No. You don't care. Ah, don't lick me. Okay. That was the dog really wanting attention. Explaining the how I got this disorder, because I didn't want him to think that he could just get it, or that he might also have it, or you know, anything else like that. So I explained to him that when I was a child, I was very unsafe. That's all I said. I was always unsafe, and that's what causes this disorder. But you are always safe, because mommy takes good care of you, and daddy takes good care of you, and your grandparents take good care of you. So you are always safe. So you don't get this this disorder or this sickness. You don't have to worry about that. That's impossible. Especially since he's 8, so you know, he can't get it anymore. And he doesn't have it. We have good bonding. He has no trauma in his life. So everything is good. If your children are really young, I really wouldn't explain too much, because most kids just go with the flow. They're normal. Or your normal is their normal. So, yeah. But you, as an adult, though, as a parent, are responsible to make sure that your children are safe, right? It's okay for your child alters to draw in the coloring book with your child, but it's not okay if they are gonna cook dinner or something, if they can do that, right? If they're not able to. Some littles are very capable of cooking dinner, I know that. But what I'm trying to say is, you as the adult alter, whichever adult alter you might be, are responsible for the safety of your child, always. So please keep that in mind when it comes to parenting and the ID. And also, access systems help. The other day, we had to cross a street, and there were very clear street lights. It was on red, but that was my eyesight. What I didn't notice was that at my son's eyesight, there was a little street light, I guess, with an arrow to the side for the cars to see when they're all the way up front of the row, else they can look up far enough. So they put a little sign there, but it was exactly on my child's eye height. So when that light turned green, he stepped forward onto the road while the car started driving, and one of my protectors, Amy, she grabbed him. She noticed before I noticed, and she grabbed him. And I'll be forever thankful that she did that. And I explained yet again that we look at the lights on top across from the street. But that was very scary. But also a really good moment where one of my alters, my protectors, stepped in and snatched my kid away from the cars before I even realized he was going to walk. Because, yeah. So, This is how we explain the ID. I hope this was helpful, guys. If you have any specific questions, please let them know in the comments. And again, I would say only answer the questions they have or they bring up themselves after you had like a pre-talk. And I would do that pre-talk when they're around 7 or 8 years old, depending on how noticeable it is, if your kid lives full-time with you, and other issues, I guess. My son was nearly 7 when we really had the talk about what was going on. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye. See you later. Also, guys, I want to do a quick shout out to 2 other channels that I know that have DID and children. Pink Camo is a really great channel. They really deserve more subscribers. And Devi Uniquely 3 is also a great channel that she also talks about her children a lot. So maybe you can get some helpful information there as well. I hope this helps. Bye, guys.